Previously. Jack runs through a door. We have floor joists. All of them. And my dad makes art.
Hello.
Alright guys, welcome back. Today we are trying to finish up our floor system here, as much as we can anyway, besides plumbing. And so what we're doing here is installing a vapor barrier, and this may seem a little interesting or different from what you've seen previously, especially if you're up north. So the vapor barrier is supposed to be on the warm side of your wall system or floor system. And so in your northern climates where you're heating the majority of the time, your vapor barrier would be on the inside. So that's where your typical insulation would have your paper on the inside, and you would staple that up, and that's very common. But in Florida, with the warm side being on the outside, the majority of the time, the vapor barrier needs to go on the outside of the insulation, or the unconditioned side of the insulation. And so what we're doing here is we're putting the vapor barrier under and kind of articulating with the floor joists, and the alternative to this would be putting on the bottom of the floor joists. And it's not really an option for us because it's 10 inches from the dirt on the underside, so it's just, this is the better option for us to install the floor joists and then kind of wrap it around, and we end up cutting the vapor barrier at the joist so then we can glue the plywood down, which you'll see later in the video. And so you can kind of see where we're stopping. We're stopping where the new bathroom is going to be and where the other plumbing for the laundry room is going to be. And so we'll leave that for later, and once all the plumbing's installed, we'll kind of install that around the plumbing fixtures and pipes that are installed there. So there's going to be a lot of this today, and we're going to try and wrap it up and maybe get to some walls. One thing I want to clarify from the last video, I misspoke a little bit when we were doing the concrete inside the blocks, and I said concrete needed to dry. Concrete cures, paint dries. Just thought you should know when you're talking about concrete and the way it acts. Concrete cures.
Here. Which makes me wonder if okay. Come my way a little bit over here, I think. Good? Yeah. Still good? I think it's moved.
Just want to say, super grateful for my dad's help here. We're kind of in the last couple days here of his help, and he's going to be going back to Michigan. So, yeah, he's made things fly along here, and if it were just me and Mackenzie, it'd be taking a lot longer. So, super grateful for him putting in all the effort while I'm at lunch and, making huge leaps and bounds, and then obviously still putting in a lot of work when I'm there to help him. Yeah, just it finally feels like we're making a lot of progress and we have a lot of momentum. So, like I said, we're going to try and get a wall up, or at least some walls up here before the end of the video and before he has to head back north. Here we're cutting some blocking to go under the wall that will be in between the bedroom and the bathroom. And so just so that wall, it falls in between two joists. So just so that wall has something to sit on, and the weight from that wall isn't just relying on the plywood. It's being sent to the joists that are on either side. So you might have noticed that we put a few pieces down of plywood that don't have insulation under it. We're just putting those down so mainly we can get a consistent surface, and they just have a few screws in it, and then when the plumbing gets installed we'll take those back up. Obviously we got some studs delivered, so we might get to that wall. And then we could put a few screws in all of these
So they're not skidding around.
so they're all sturdy. And so we were trying to figure it out, but it has like I don't know if you've heard of this. I'm learning about this for the first time. The Florida flange on it, where it doesn't have like the nailing flange.
Really?
And I'm like, okay.
What the hell is that?
And so I'm like, I don't know how to flash that. And so the short answer is you kind of don't. You flash over. It's because it like has built-in trim. And I'm like, okay, that's nice, but like, how do I flash it? Oh, sorry. You want to go your way or? Because it was like $100 off. And yeah, so anyway, we spent a bunch of time trying to figure that out, and essentially it's like you can't. The example that they showed had a really big flange, like really big trim flange, and then you flash that, and then you put your trim over the thing, but it was only the flange on this window was only this big, so you wouldn't be able to flash it and put trim. It would be like right up to the window, so it's just like it. I was like, I don't love that. And then the other window online had the nailing flange that you could flash to, and I'm like, okay, I'd rather just do that because that one's like way more straightforward.
Right.
So, all that being said, we didn't end up buying it. I was wondering if that was going to happen to you. Here I'm using a flush cut router bit to make sure that, just a couple inconsistencies in the plywood, make sure it's smooth with our rim board before we put our walls up.
So mad.
He wants to see the logo up too.
It was too loud for his little ears.
You want that even with that outside, right?
So, where are your ears?
That was my fingers, but they're on that table.
They're on the table.
Do you want to send one in the wall
I was
first?
going to ask you that. If that's what you want to do.
Oh, because this isn't. I gotta just line this up.
That's what Jack and
Okay.
yelled about.
I'm good on my side. Are you okay right here?
it's just that then me and Garrett are yelling at each other. What? What?
You have to be able to hear me when we're older.
What? That is overrated.
He actually likes me.
All right, shoot some in there.
Dermot, go get your fox. You can come up here, but you need your fox. Mister, hey, get your fox. You just left him in the bushes. Jack, get your toy. Get your toy.
So, she's smiling. That's good.
Jack, jump. You got
Big
big
jump.
jumps.
Big jump.
Yes, good baby. It's more solid over here, Jack. Good boy.
Good boy. Look what we did.
Good snaps. Yep, that's the scary machine.
Those are the things that go kachoom. He wants to bite me and the nail when I'm doing it.
That's how he is with the vacuum too. Damn man, it's gonna be in the bedroom. Well, that's our closet, but this is our bedroom.
There's your window. That's your first window here. Just can't poop on the sand pile. That's not a sand pile now. Pretty fun.
Just so the video.
I mean, take that one out that went out the side, or you okay?
Yeah. It's gonna mess up sheeting. I need to plane this down before we get any
Gentlemen, you're a construction puppy. Are these the best 2x4s you've ever seen?
directed at you.
They're not bad for Lowe's. I don't know where you go for.
If you would have seen the wood that was attached to the rest of it, most of them were from the outside and had rounded corners.
I don't know if around us if Carter Lumber has better lumber or not. I think that's where a lot of guys go for their lumber. They don't go to Home Depot or Lowe's unless
Yeah.
they're building like doghouses and shit like that. it's notoriously bad. Even up there.
What do you
doesn't
think,
matter.
puppy? What do you think? Is it a good house? It's a wall.
That went quickly.
That's why I'm kind of annoyed that we don't have studs.
We have enough to do this and this.
No.
We have enough to do this.
And to support it.
I mean, we could go get more.
It's gonna rain tomorrow though, so if it wasn't gonna rain, I would say yeah. Less than ideal.
Sorry about that.
All bettered.
My bad.
There's so many toys out here.
Oh, warpy.
Oh, did you clean that down?
Nope.
Jack, come on. Come on. Grab your toy. Jack, grab
here I'm doing the initial stud layout. So you lay out all your windows, all your openings, your jack studs, king studs, cripple studs, and then you transfer the marks to your top plate. So that way when you lay your studs down, you don't have to think about it. You can just go ahead and line them up and nail them in. So this is, we have the drawings right there, so we know where we want our windows, how big our windows are supposed to be, etc. And so just trying to make our lives easier when we're nailing them together, and it's not thinking twice. Just you think one time and then you can just nail after that.
When I'm working at home, I put one earplug in. That's why it's like that. What do you think?
That's freaking long, brother.
So, let me ask you this, Mr. Builder.
Yeah. What's up?
When you get this wall with this,
Uh-huh.
you end up with this.
Uh-huh.
You don't have anything for your drywall to hang on.
You put in another one this way.
Okay.
It's called like a California corner or some shit like that. So we could put that in.
I just,
Yep. Put it like this. So then when this is overlapped like that,
still got something to hang
you
your
still
drywall.
have your drywall.
Okay.
And then you can still get insulation back here. There's another way to do it. I don't know. It's supposed to get you more insulation value, but that's the
But yeah, you use a 2x6.
yeah. Right.
So, you gotta have an 8-footer to span that,
Yeah.
and then you put little ones on the ends, right?
Right. So we'll take wherever this wall's at. We'll start the 8-footer, go from there over to bridge that, so that way that one's solid, and then we'll just put a small one here, and then we'll put a small one there in the corner. and then this corner will overlap that one to tie those together.
Oh, but we can't put one here because that
Well, we could put one here.
we just got to leave a gap.
We just have to leave a gap for the wall, and then we can. So I think we're going to do that. I think we're going to put it from here and run the 8 foot just to tie those two together. And then we're going to put a 45 brace on that thing before we're done here. That's a pretty big window.
Yeah. I think that's bigger than the window you got in your house now.
It is. It's wider. It's 3 inches wider.
I thought you for that new window you got. I thought you were going for the exact same side.
We were trying to, but we're not going to spend double for 3 less inches. You know, that's dumb.
Better?
Freaking banjo tight now. Kind of looks like a house.
Getting there.
Too. It didn't feel that bad. I mean, once we put that double top plate on there, you know what they say?
Ain't going.
There you go. So the existing windows are 28s, not 32s. So we thought we were going 4 inches bigger. We were going 8 inches bigger and 4 inches on each side bigger.
So these aren't right over.
These are potentially not the right openings. So we're gonna hang out for a minute. We're not gonna do the headers, just in case we gotta move.
That's not good.
We might still go with this size. Because I was like, oh, we can build the headers, whatever, we'll go through the bottom, so it's all done.
I say you got 4 jacks